Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It is yet another Tuesday, which means we will continue down the path of the Darkening of Mirkwood. Episode 60. Yay!
Woo!
Yay! There it is. So, let's get into a bit of a recap from last week. So, the Fellowship met in the town of Esgaroth, also known as Lake Town, just south of Dale in the Lonely Mountain. They come here in the late, that is loud in my ears. They come here in the late fall of the year to attend the Council of the North, a council that is held between Dale, Erebor, and Lake Town, and occasionally the Elven King, Thranduil. This is the second time it's happened. As such, many emissaries and envoys have arrived to attend, to speak out whether there's issues that need to be brought up or to weigh in on important decisions to try and sway their leaders in one way or another. Last week was the first day, and it was a public gathering held in the town hall of Lake Town. Where two matters were discussed. One regarding the Bjornings in the far west on the other side of Mirkwood, and a rival clan known as the Viglanites. Bjorn counseled patience and advised against an act of war, even though that if Viglin were to cause any more issues, it could greatly disrupt trade, as that would be somebody would be controlling the Western Elven Path. After some debate, it was held to a vote, and the Council of the North opted to forge no alliance with Bjorn and send no army, which was much to Bjorn's agreement. After that, it was another discussion of trade matters, very boring topics regarding the settlements in the south known as the East Bight, which was ran by Seowyn, a woodman. And then briefly brought up the matter of the Old Forest Road, which is what Vidar is there to drum up support and hopefully get more resources, specifically in the terms of people. Someone to come help work, someone to come help guard, defend. And in this opportunity, a familiar face, but not a welcomed one, offered his support. Mogdred, the Lord of Tyrant's Hill. Who has been... Boo, you stink. Somebody who has been a relative thorn in the side of various fellowships in the past, as the fellowship, based on story matters, tends to change. Though most are very familiar with him. It was held to a vote, and the Council of the North opted to allow Mogdred to essentially help develop the Old Forest Road in some capacity as the proxy. As they had no further resources to spend, and they saw no real reason why Mogdred shouldn't be allowed to do this. So those were the things that were held to vote, and that was the conclusion of the first day of the talks. The Fellowship returned to the inn where they discussed their party plans for later in the week, the after party potentially. And ultimately we're discussing how the rest of the week would go. And that is where we are going to pick up tonight, as our final joins us on camera.
What are you talking about? I was always here.
Boo!
I was in the process on the production side, fixing everything, because I realized without your camera on, everyone's picture was in the wrong spot because Discord switches it up.
Oh no.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I figured no one on stream wanted to see me feed my fat ass, so I was like, you know what, I'll go with the camera
We
off.
could do a mukbang stream. A mukbang.
I feel that from last week.
Okay, so.
I don't have the professionalism to respond to that.
That was an oddly professional response.
There you go.
Sorry, my corporate fitness center's coming out of me.
So, we begin tonight in the early morning at the inn as you all are waking up to begin your day and discuss matters of what you will be doing. So, in whatever order best suits you, whatever time you wake up, if you wake up at all, maybe you are very deep sleepers. Those that get up early enough and make their way downstairs to at least get ready for the day, get their meals and refreshments. The inn this morning is fairly sparse. There are not many people here. Excluding yourselves, there are Nayla and Seowin discussing matters at one table. And there's actually one other person off in the corner eating their breakfast in the morning. But other than that, there's the wait staff, and the morning is yours. So we begin tonight in the inn. What would you guys like to do?
And this is the morning, right?
Yes, this is the morning of day 2.
Okay. What's on the agenda today? I remember it being something boring.
Oh, well, I believe today is going to be about the felling of, what was it, timber in Mirkwood.
Ah, yes.
As well as conducting an open floor for other issues that anyone else may want to speak about.
Well, I think the only thing I need to do at this point is, have my meeting with Mogdred.
Yes, I don't remember. Is that today, or was that tomorrow?
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh, yes, that's right.
I wanted to do it the day of the party, but he said he was busy.
Oh, yeah. I remember that now. Oh, well, I, for one, certainly plan on attending everything as best as possible, just to do my due diligence as a diplomat, so to speak, especially on behalf of Rohan and on behalf of Nayla. So, I suppose what I'm saying is, if you guys feel like doing anything other than that in terms of potentially more scouting or sneaking around or whatnot, you might have to count me out. Unless I find something new in terms of information, then I'll always let you know.
I can't sneak, so...
Sneaky, sneaky.
But I, for one, plan on attending everything as much as possible, just to keep track of everything that's going on in the world.
I guess I should go too, just in case, although I'll probably nap through this one.
I mean, I could take notes for you too, Vidar. You don't have to if you don't want to.
No, I should. It'll be good to see a little bit more of how the world works, I guess.
Diplomacy's not that boring all the time. There are some fun bits to it. Sometimes. It depends on who you talk to, honestly. I've had some very heated conversations in the past, and other conversations that really didn't need my skill or expertise, so...
I'm surprised I haven't rolled a natural 1 all session last session. I said that in character, but Vidar doesn't actually say that because he has no idea what that means.
And what about you two? I almost said Mathan. Jeez. Volley. There we go. And Sophos. That took a while.
Our names are not even close. How did you get it mixed up?
I don't know.
I was planning to go down and get some more information.
What was the code word we came up with? If something went wrong.
Slurp into your microphone.
It's drinking his ale in the morning. That's what I was trying to say.
God.
Just watch our viewers dip
Brian's
to
here, got a
0.
wet willy.
Yeah, really.
Go up for the ASMR content.
I don't remember what our code word was if something went wrong. I was gonna make a joke about it, but we'll come up with a new one.
Oh, did we
No,
have...
That was the signal.
That's our
but the
signal
code word,
at the party. We had a specific code word when we were
I
scouting
think it
the
was
premises.
something with pears.
It wasn't the cake?
It was a food item.
It was pears, or it was a fruit or potato, something with a P.
Pie? No.
It might have been pie.
I don't think my word's appropriate for stream.
It is if it's an
Well.
18+ stream.
Let's Vidar just downs his drink.
Slurp, slurp.
I'm just gonna hang out here until the event at the city hall starts. So, you lot have fun.
See, you gotta slurp.
Oh, dwarves don't slurp. They chug.
You can go.
Chug, 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 chug.
So, am I a dwarf?
Well,
In spirit.
I think I will take a walk around and see if I can pick up any new rumors for the day.
Would you like some company? I'm trying to find out where our new friend likes to hang out. Well, they don't say hang out in Middle Earth. Where he is.
That's fine by me. I enjoy company.
Oh, great. Shall we then?
Absolutely.
And we're gonna go skipping out, just arm in arm, being like, we're off to see the fucking wizard.
Frolicking through the flowers. Whatever flowers are around.
Right. So, the two of you, eat your breakfast and then gather your things and head out into the day. The market is already bustling for the most part. There are the merchants set up, peddling, yelling, trying to get people to give their attention to them. The streets are busy-ish for the morning. But the day is yours. What would you like to do? You are roughly in this area.
Okay.
Bing.
Yeah, I know I wanted to do my ever watchful feature again just to see if anything new came up in terms of gossip and whatnot, or rumors, or something to potentially look out for since the happenings of yesterday.
Okay. Go ahead and give that investigation check at advantage.
Whee! Oh, let me toggle. I can toggle, right?
Yes.
Oh my god. There we go.
Oh my god.
29.
Yay!
What are you specifically trying to gather?
If there might be certain people wanting to utilize the open floor that's later today, and if there are any notable reactions to take note of in regards to what happened yesterday, like specifically with Mogdred showing up and speaking out or whatever.
Okay.
Anything in addition to the whole, I guess, disappointment that people now have with Bjorn, because people now think he old.
Where are you gathering this? You just walked right outside and you're in the market. You just stay there and
Yep.
rub elbows there, or you go
Nope.
anywhere else?
Thea's
Right
gonna
here.
do her. Thea will probably drag Volley around to do her touristy through the market, buy a few fun little things around, and utilize the shopping experience to get information.
All right, so Volley has this look of the significant other that was just dragged here and wants absolutely nothing to do with this. Cool.
Yeah, kinda.
All right.
And she'll take that to. She'll use it to her advantage too, if she sees that very plainly on his face.
Okay. So you ask about, and you get a variety of interesting information. There are still people gossiping about Bjorn, and like you heard the other day, it is now slightly shifted. People seem to be, though they were excited to see him like a legendary folk hero, they now view him as somebody who is, in lack of better terms, probably someone who should retire.
Mm-hmm.
They're concerned with that he might not be what he once was, and now there seems to be great talk and concern of what will happen when he's gone, because it seems like they are getting closer to that point. The Bjornings do they have a successor lined up? Is Vigeland going to actually bide his time and wait for that moment and start overwhelming the Bjornings, or is this going to spill over into the east? Is this something that, if Bjorn is the only thing standing between Vigeland and Mirkwood and anything else that could be going on, is this something that should be concerning, because Bjorn seems to be not flexing his muscles like he once used to be.
Right.
Just
So
needs
it's
to work
more-
more, bro.
So it's more of a concern and speculation of what is to come. There's idle talk about Mogdred, but for the most part, he's not really the talk of the town. Like, he's a newcomer who stood up and said, "Hey, I'll help if you guys need it," and the leader said, "Okay." No one really has an opinion of him, as they just don't know who he is.
Who dat?
Okay.
So most of the comments are probably more or less on appearance. It's like
Yeah.
he was dressed strangely, his armor. He was somebody in full, like, battle armor for the most part, when everyone else is common cloth, leather. Like, they're
Right.
they're walking around town, and to have somebody in full clad ready to fight is a little strange. But if he is who he says he is, then maybe there's reason for that. As far as those who might be speaking up later today, you don't find a whole lot of, like, there's no, like, notable people.
Okay.
There's a group that have come from the west, who are here to raise concerns and warnings of the goings-ons beyond just Vigeland, and that is one thing that they're here to discuss. That is one group that is looking to talk.
Okay. Okay. Is it possible? Oh, okay.
Since you are in the market, you do hear a couple of highbrow customers. They are dressed in what appears to be nobility. They are probably not from Lake Town. Go ahead and give me a traditions check.
Ooh. Oh, hold on. It's still at advantage. Oh no, it's normal. My tablet pen is not wanting to work. Here we go. Oh, I can do. That's a natural 2.
12. Okay. The most you gather is that they don't seem to fit Lake Town. Knowing where or who they might actually be sort of escapes you. But they approach a couple of different vendors asking for exotic goods. And a lot of the merchants turn them away, saying don't have anything for you. But there is one that you do overhear say that if they're interested in exotic goods, the one place in Dale is going to be having an auction of goods. And to keep it to themselves. And if they're looking for it, that they should head to Dale and ask around.
Did they happen to say when that would take place? Okay. Place and Dale will have auction. Keep to themselves. Oh, am I able to ask for one more thing as part of that check?
One more
Maybe
thing.
you got a lot from that.
I know, and I meant to ask this other one. It's okay.
What is it?
If there are any sightings about any Rohirrim in the area in the past few weeks, based on what she heard about from what's her face.
That would be a separate investigation check.
Okay. Do you want? Okay.
Do you want to actually ask around?
Yeah.
Okay, an investigation check.
Okie dokies.
Are you remaining in the market district for this? Or the merchants district? Sorry, that's where you are. There is no
Yeah,
market
I'll
district
start.
here, same difference.
I would start there, and I think she'll keep kind of keeping an eye out as her and Volley then move on to look for like any sightings of like Mogdred's men to try to sneak around into like the second phase of what they want to do. So she'll start at the merchants district, but she'll kind of keep poking around after that.
Poke.
Okay. You have advantage, by the way, the next time you roll.
For investigation?
No, the next time you roll.
Oh,
Oh
so
yeah,
roll-
if you're gonna use it now, sure. It was just redeemed for you.
Oh, thank you. I will do that then.
Yeah, so for
20.
20, for the people that you ask around, there don't seem to be any Rohirrim other than yourself here.
Figures.
No one has seen such. No one has introduced themselves as such. So unfortunately, in terms of the Rohirrim, this is a far travel for anyone from Rohan.
Yeah.
So if there is one here, no one has seen them and no one has talked to them.
Okay. Are those highbrows still in sight?
Not at this point.
Dang. Okay. Okay. I meant to elbow Volley too and be like, hey, do they look familiar?
I don't know. Do I recognize them?
They're gone at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna look. Who?
I wanted to accomplish too many things.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yes, I can.
No.
I will eat that cake.
Nope. It's spoiled.
Eat
No.
Eat it.
Anything else?
Alright. No, I'm unless Volley wants to do anything specific, the two of us can
No,
Look
if there's no talk of Mogdred, or is there any sign of possibly like hearing like where he may be located, or is anyone talking about that?
Like where he's staying, or is
Yeah.
he like actually walking about? Because you guys found where he's staying.
Oh, we did. Ew, good for us. Oh yeah, that's right, we did. Shit.
Yeah, his helping pad.
Yeah, no, I remember now.
I
don't
love
know
how we did not do a good job convincing Volley about Mogdred, but he's all in on it.
I'm gonna help us steal this guy's shit. Oh,
Yeah, I was saying,
okay.
it's like, okay, I barely know you, I barely know this guy, but he stole your shit. I got him.
Well, what I said at the beginning during the little parade was, you see that guy? You can thank him for the issues of like trade around the area of Sunstead, because there being a bunch of poopy people and letting woodmen travel around between settlements.
Dicks.
There. But
Oh,
anyway.
I'm gonna fuck him up.
Anything else you wish to do other than keep your
No.
ears to the ground?
Yeah. That's pretty much it on my end, anyway. I can't speak for
Yeah.
Thea, Nayla, Anelia. We're playing this right now.
Just say Elia.
Elia.
Aya.
Or
Yeah, same.
just an Aya.
Can I just buy a fucking vowel?
Oh man, we should come up with
okay.
like a mini game
So-
of how many names we can create that follow the same structure as all of my character names, since they apparently also seem to be so similar. It'd be fun, like Hangman.
Okay.
Anyways.
So you've concluded your investigation for the morning. You've looked around. You've listened in. You guys heading back, going to the hall.
I would head to the hall after
Yeah.
being done.
Okay. Okay, so you guys just head straight for town hall.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okie dokie. So you guys head off that way, and we will jump back over to the inn where Volley and Salfos remain.
Wait, what?
Or sorry, Vidar. See, now there's two
Okay, I was saying, like,
2 V's.
I was sitting there going like, wait, was I just role playing the complete wrong thing?
Vidar was here first, so if Volley has to die, Volley has to die.
Oh,
Volley just goes fucking Conor McGregor, takes the mic. Who the fuck is this guy?
What do you think, Salfos? Did something happen, or are we just chilling in the inn?
We just came back. The scene just transitioned. You two are still there. Nayla and Seowin are still there as well. There's like 2 other patrons in there now, and just the waitstaff.
well, Master Dwarf, I think I'll go walk about the town and look into some things, possibly.
Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna go over that table there and any gestures to Seowin and Thea. I mean Nayla. Dang it!
Take a drink.
And,
Drinking game, let's go!
Every time we fuck up one of Lindsay's characters.
Oh, that's gonna be often. You guys are screwed.
I'm going over to that table and see what's on the
Lindsay
agenda
has to double
today.
drink, because she is the character.
I like how Zach comes in when we talk about drinking games.
Hey, bro.
There's some.
Zach has no room to talk about drinking games.
There we go. You walk on over to Seowin and Nayla's table, and they're mid conversation as you sit down. And Seowin, as you sit down, you just hear Seowin say, "That's like 4 in the past 3 years. That's a little unnerving for sure."
What's
Oh, Vidar, welcome. Good morning.
good morning? I figured, I'd try to be a productive member of society and figure out what's on the agenda and what's everyone's concerns are. For what, if
Well-
you don't mind me asking?
4 people.
Yes,
Sure.
4 people.
Oh, you asked
Are
for
you-
what? I told you for what.
Are you talking, does this have to do with, Mr. M?
No, I don't believe so.
I just-
Nayla, you
I just
seem to be
know-
more.
I know some people have gotten into violent altercations with his forces in the Narrows. That's all I was asking.
Ah, that. While there has been a spat or two, no one has died,
Well,
which I'd like to keep it that way.
hopefully the Dwarven Highway helps smooth all this over.
It will definitely help, though, from my understanding, the route through the Narrows has been dredged for many years. So, finding a new one, while the Old Forest Road will definitely help, it is still out of the way between the Black Tarn and Sunstead. So it will add time. It'll be safer for sure, but if we could just visit our neighbor, that would be ideal. No, what's we were discussing, and I believe Naylor has told me that you've been staying among the woodmen the past few years, that you might have heard.
I have.
There's, over the past few years, a couple hunters, a couple, treasure hunters, if you will, went south, and
Treasure.
they went missing. All four of them.
Four of them?
All over the span of time. They didn't all go at once.
I was just going to say the whole group? No. Separately.
Oh, no.
How far south did they go?
Well, if they weren't missing, we would know.
I mean, true. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying you knew they went south. Maybe there's more information.
Okay.
Maybe they said where they were going before they left.
Well, there were two. Naylor, you might know more. It's been a little bit out of my wheelhouse. Fine. A few years ago, two woodmen from Woodman Town headed south into southern Mirkwood, and they came across a barrow. They looted some gold inside and returned home, though they claim they only looted enough to not anger the ghost, or the ancestors. Then word spread that there was treasure in the south, and others went looking. Those that went looking haven't been seen. Unfortunately, I don't know too many of them. There was only one that was really, I guess, well known amongst the culture.
And that was... I haven't heard any of this.
What was his name? He was a renowned hunter. Hunold.
How do you spell that? Because spelling
Do you
names
want
is
it in-
hard.
Do you want it in Dwarven runes, or...
No. You don't know Dwarven runes, I bet. Do you even know Dwarven runes? You're pulling my
That's not
leg
a-
right now.
Well, that's not what you wanted in, so you're going to get it in my spelling. H... U...
You must be real surprised.
A-L-D. Huddled. The other three were mostly nobodies, to my knowledge, but they were all either from Roscabella or Woodman Town.
So
None
I'm
from
writing-
Sunstead and none from Mountain Hall, so I did not know any of them personally.
That's good, I guess. So I'm writing down the other three were losers. I got that.
Of course.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll come across an answer to this mystery in our adventures. In our travels.
Saywin speaks up. Well, if only. Unfortunately, that's not why we're here. We were just idle gossip, really. But you were here to hear the agenda of the day.
Yeah, and
Well-
some concerns you hope to be addressed.
Well, if what King Bard said yesterday is to be our itinerary, then I believe one of the envoys from the Elven King's Hall will have the floor for the first half today to discuss the felling of trees. Not really something that's,
Yeah, I
as
know,
he
right?
gestures towards Nayla, not really something that affects us, though could in potentially long runs. Sunstead does have ample lumber, though transporting it up north would be difficult. My guess is that Erebor and Dale and Laketown, to some extent, have probably been felling trees within Mirkwood that the elves are none too happy about.
Yeah.
So it'll be trying to come to some compromise or agreement upon that. Honestly, whatever the outcome is doesn't really affect me. As far as for the open floor, I don't know. I don't have anything today. I'm more inclined to hear what the private discussions will be later this week.
I've also haven't had a chance to talk to you two about it yet, but what do you think? And I know what you're gonna say, Nayla, but I want to hear it nonetheless. I'm also curious what Saywin thinks of the council wanting Mogdred to provide the aid for the highway.
Well, shall I go first or you? I'll be quicker.
Sounds right.
Don't trust him as far as you can throw him. Keep a close eye on him. There's nothing we can presently do to stop his aid, and in all reality, his aid would be beneficial. But if this is to be a turning point, and if this is something where he can actually be negotiated with, or something that we can actually turn into... friendship is a little strong for him, but, friendlier
Acquaintance?
terms. Friendlier terms.
Co-workers?
Something to get me to tell my spies to pull back. Then we should seize the opportunity, because if there's one thing we've noticed when we have been in his presence, it's that they are a bit more well prepared for a war than the woodmen are.
Yes.
So it must be avoided, as much as I don't want to.
Yeah.
Take it away, Saywin. Well,
Vidar gets his like 3-mile stare.
Well, the way I see it is, again, if it speeds up the process, then why shouldn't we? Though, in order for his men to get there, he has to march through our lands. That is a bit concerning.
Oh.
Well, he hasn't really caused much trouble to this point. He hasn't really marched a garrison through. So,
Well,
time will
I'm
tell.
meeting with him tomorrow at this inn. Insert the inn where Mathan and Vidar fought the Fangs of Smog. And if you want, Saywin, if you're not busy, you could swing by and be a part of the conversation as well.
I would be happy to oblige. If anything, I could be a moderator.
That would be good, because Nayla would not be a very good moderator in this situation.
Oh, I'd pay to see that. Oh my god.
Well, if Saywin falls ill, I'll be more than happy to stand in.
Okay, Saywin, please don't get sick in the next couple of days.
Oh, well, have you drank the water here? Don't.
I mostly drink alcohol. Like, that's all
Yeah,
I
well.
drink.
So, like I said, his aid is welcomed as long as it's consistent. If this is just a one-time, then this is probably where it'll end, and we will return to mild hostilities in the near future. But if we can maintain this friendship, this agreement, then it could be beneficial for all. It might even get us closer to him being part of the woodman culture, which is what he wanted from the get-go. Which is really what kicked all this off.
Yeah, I wonder how things would have been different if that the Falkenwood had gone a bit differently.
Who's to say? I mean, I was welcomed in and he wasn't. It could have easily been the other way around. But I believe Mogdred was banking on his bloodline to get him in, and that's not really what happened. In fact, his bloodline kind of fell silent during the whole thing.
Interesting. Well, I guess I'll let you two get back to your small talk. I'm just gonna go drink until the events.
Well, that should be relatively soon.
Ah, one more drink.
One for
Barkeep,
the road.
Barkeep, put it on Saywin's tab.
Hmm.
We've been putting it on
I'll
Saywin's
be-
tab this whole time, so...
I'll be sure to do that. Alright. Anything else, Vidar?
Nope.
Salphos, you said you were gonna go out in about town.
Yes, so Salphos will I think we'll look around for lords and ladies again. I think last time it wasn't a very good check. Maybe today I can roll a better check on this +1.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Ooh, here we go, Rick. Nope.
Around the time you walk out of the inn, most of the people have begun heading back towards town hall. A couple of merchants are still left behind. You don't see anyone immediately as you look around that seems to jump out at you as nobility or of a higher status, either from Lake Town or.
Is that the baby?
It is. He's trying to go to sleep, but he don't want to go to sleep.
I thought that was like someone's cat or dog. I was like,
no, it's him.
Anything else?
All right. Do I have enough time to maybe I want to kind of buddy. I want to freehand draw. I kind of want to move like come up come up this way. You kind of move around and kind of pass by Mordred's hopping pad before heading to heading to the meeting.
You can certainly try, depending on the crowd and where you're starting from. You could be delayed and you could run late. It's hard to say from where you are.
Okay, with running late, I can act like I'm running late to the meeting if I'm behind.
I'm late for a very important date.
Sure. So you cross the bridge and head over towards the residential district. You make your way through the crowd, passing by fishermen, a couple of merchants, and a handful of bakers, and you get back towards like the main street of that district back there, and you come to that corner where you see the building that you spotted the day before. Are you just giving it a once over? Or are you staying around? What are you trying to accomplish here?
So when he gets there, like act like, oh, I'm late, and kind of like pretend like he's like still rushing and kind of out of breath, and then like kind of look around while he's resting, fake resting, and kind of see what kind of like the guard detail or who's around during this time of day. Kind of give it a case and then like move on and go past it.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, those I'm a little bit better at, guys. 17.
Nice.
Yeah.
17. You see, as you look around at that building, you see two individuals standing outside of the door immediately, from what you can see. Through one of the windows, and they're sort of like a frosted glass. They're really difficult to see through. You see like a faint glow, like an orangish glow on the other side. Hard to tell what that is. Could be a candle or a fireplace or something like that. But from where you are on this main street, you see two guards.
Okie doke. All right, and then we'll head on towards the meeting.
Okay. So, you all make your way towards town hall. I keep knocking my mic. Thea and Vali, you've arrived first, and you make your way up towards where you were the day before, up in the higher bleachers.
Was
no
fucking pep rally?
Nosebleeds. And you take your seats. The whole area begins filling up slowly. Down on the platform, you see King Bard with Queen Una. Bjorn is still up there.
Bjorn.
Armand, the merchant prince, trade prince. And the two elven envoys now. One that you recognize from both of them that you recognize from the procession. Thea would know one is Ruthiel, the elven captain of the guard, the Elven King's captain. And the other that you saw the day before, whose one arm is missing and has scars across his neck.
Oh, yeah.
And slowly everyone else begins filtering in. Vidar arrives with Saywin and Nayla, who find their seats just behind you as people are beginning to fill up. By the time Salphos arrives, most of the seats are taken, and he sort of sits up a couple of rows behind the rest of you. So as everyone sort of is finding their seats, getting situated, there's a couple of people that make their way to the front on the lower level. Presumably they're among the group that is going to have things to bring up or to discuss. But Bard eventually calls order to the meeting. Everyone begins to quiet down. He graciously thanks everyone for attending yet again, and he addresses the crowd saying that the first part of today's council is going to be led by the elven envoys from the Elven King's Hall. And he steps back and gestures towards the two elves who stand up and move forward to address the whole public. And this is where we're going to take a 5-minute break.
Hey.
Hey.
So don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
But we're going on break.
Hail, adventurer! Are you a dungeon master with a desire to transport your players to fantastical settings? Perhaps they are deep in the dungeon of a mad lich.
Fools, you've intervened for the last time. Let's see you survive my fireball.
Or perhaps the party has just come across bandits, and the Goliath monk releases a flurry of blows and a stunning strike to gain control of the conflict. Nice rolls on the attack. Or maybe the party is taking a breather after another difficult quest. If this sounds like something you want at your next TTRPG session, then head over to battlebards.com. By subscribing to BattleBards Prime, you get the ability to immerse your players in your campaign. You'll get complete streaming access to the libraries of both BattleBards and Platemail games. And whether your game is in person or virtual, you won't be limited, as you will have access to a caster and a mixer to be able to broadcast the tracks to all of your players. And of course, if you want to download and keep any tracks, then you get 20% off all in-store purchases. So what are you waiting for, adventurer? A quest posting at the local guild hall? Get over to battlebards.com and subscribe today, and use the coupon code ADVENTURE at checkout. Stay proficient, adventurers. Welcome back, everyone. So, I hope you enjoyed your 5-minute break from us. And by 5 minutes, I mean that was probably 7, 10, something like that. Irrelevant. You took a break from us, which is what you need. You can't handle this all the time. But on top of that, there was something in that break that is not captured in the little break slideshow that we put together, and that is on. I was looking at my calendar here. August 21st through the 22nd. That is Extra Life's tabletop RPG or tabletop appreciation weekend. We are going to be participating in that. So we are going to be doing a 24-hour charity stream starting on the 21st of August.
Yay!
To support Extra Life and local children's hospitals. So we will be playing all sorts of tabletop inspired things, including Star Wars Legion, Baldur's Gate 3, and a whole bunch of other things. We might even have a one-shot or two in there. So swing on by, keep us company, and help us raise money for children's hospitals. August.
Yeah! Do the thing!
Do that thing.
Oh, is
Yep,
there
so
already an emote? Oh,
we-
that's cool.
We'll make more like schedule-esque announcements in Discord and Twitter. So go ahead and follow us there, and we will get you more information. And as you'll get more information as we get more information, we're making this up as we go. So
That's what everyone's doing throughout their entire life. Don't let anyone ever make you believe
I
otherwise.
was gonna say, life is just going along with it. With everything.
So, let's just get back to the show. So,
As Kevin leaves.
well, can't please everybody.
He already went, I've already had enough of you guys.
Yep, and the two of you that are left, as you can see, we are now down.
There can
before we
only be one. Roll for initiative.
Alright, let's go, Matt. Let's go. Whoever's got the highest initiative wins. I'm down.
No. Whoever hits 0 hit points.
No.
Oh.
I just walked away. What the fuck just happened?
We're killing each other. It's chaos.
Do
Alright,
it!
have fun.
It's,
Do it!
it's pandemonium.
I got
Do
an
it
8.
quietly.
And only Brian can see it because only I can see it because I didn't select a token. Right? Is that how that works? I don't remember.
No. There's no initiative order tracker up. That's where that would get added to. Everyone
Well-
can see what you rolled.
Oh, I rolled an 8.
Anywho. I need somebody before we progress any further to make an eye awareness check.
Oh, I think we've gone all the way around.
Yeah, I did it last time and I was the last one, so anybody.
I did it first, so I guess I'll start it again.
I'll fucking do it again.
I'll do it again.
D20 plus 5.
Natural 1, baby. Let's go.
That's not.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
Game.
It's still less than 15.
That's not good.
I'm not putting my
That-
inspiration for this. I mean, we've already rolled, so it's too late.
Okay. We will see how that plays out.
Look at me, Sauron.
Notice me, senpai!
Notice me. Notice us, senpai. Are you happy yet?
That's what I think of you, Sauron.
Guys, let's just abandon this campaign and start a Sauron fan club. He was hot.
Oh.
He was hot at one point. We can get him hot again.
I don't think I want anything to do with that one.
You don't want to restore him to Anatar?
No.
Just a quick
Well,
side note. Did you
in
guys
September
see
2022.
I was gonna say, did you guys see the screenshot? Oh, the
set
lovely
teaser.
Yeah.
Yep.
The 2 trees.
It's Valinor.
I'm excited.
Time to start reading the Silmarillion again.
I'm knee deep in the middle of Wheel of Time. I ain't got time for Silmarillion. I've read it twice.
All right. So, you guys have failed your eye awareness check, so we will see how that plays out, and bear in mind, both the party and the audience, that may not play out in the same session. So, a revelation episode will happen. It's just a matter of when. So, all right.
I'm excited.
Me too.
So you all are sitting in the town hall of Laketown. Bard has given the floor to the elven envoys, and one is the captain of the guard, the Ruthiel, who on her back still has the bow Pengrable, and the other individual, slightly taller than her and more built, even though he is still missing that arm.
He's tiny.
He's bigger than you.
Nope, tiny. That's my Ruthie Bay, bitch.
Insecurities, I hear. You're not even Mathan right now. Fuck off.
I will always be Mathan.
Mathan losing out to a one-armed elf.
Oh.
That's why he traveled again.
Anywho.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
His hair is a bit like a silvery blonde, but it doesn't go near to the length of most elves. It's a bit shorter, probably down to like mid-neck. Face has several scars on it, some pretty close to the one eye, the same side where he is missing his arm, the left arm specifically.
Yeah, I got both arms. What's up?
You're not here! They come to the front of the podium and the platform. Bard takes a seat and listens. Ruthiel addresses everyone. Thank you for being here and hearing for what we elves have to say regarding the landscape between us and Dale and Erebor and Laketown. As of recently, we've come to notice that the felling of trees beneath Mirkwood has been a bit more indiscriminate to fill your storehouses and fuel your projects, your buildings. This is not the way of the wood. As you fell trees, as you destroy landscapes and habitats, you throw the whole wood into chaos. Creatures from the mountains, from the rivers, from deep within the wood are forced to retreat, finding new homes, migrating south. And these are creatures that are not meant to go that direction. These are creatures that are not meant to be wandering near towns, near passerbys. We urge you to stop. King Dane interjects. Well, if we can't be felling the trees, where do you expect us to get them from? They're right there within the land. They're ours. They're rightfully ours.
Oh, shit.
King Dane.
Do they have popcorn in Middle Earth? Because I want to watch this shit.
I will not. King Dane, I am quite aware of your stance on the matter, and I'm not advising stopping felling trees entirely. There needs to be a compromise here, a way that we can both achieve our goals and avoid this senseless felling of nature and usurping the inhabitants there. No good will come from it. Well, if I can see the tree and I can fell it, then it's mine. Of course.
Talking about fueling that fire.
Anyone have any sensible solutions? Besides the cat.
God, she's in the hallway.
Vidar. Vidar has been the... Vidar's gonna go for it. Vidar's gonna raise his hand.
Really?
The council recognizes the rogue warden.
Vidar, you may speak.
Ah, yes, thank you. I would like to preface this with I am no expert on the matters for which I'm about to speak, but perhaps that is what is needed is a new outside perspective for fresh ideas. But a conversation I just had this morning made me think that would it not be possible to supplement some of the wood that is needed from southern Mirkwood, say around Sunstead? It would take some time for the trade routes to be established, but once they were established and secured, you would have a consistent supply of wood, and that would require less felling of trees up here.
While I see your points, I am responsible for all the wood of Mirkwood, southern and northern. It does not matter where the tree is felled, at least in region.
Is there another location for woods? I don't have my world map on me right now, so I can't tell. I assume if there was, then this wouldn't be an issue.
The issue is it's indiscriminate. I advise that all lumber mills that require timber should be accompanied by an envoy of the Elven King. And they will dictate which trees and where can be taken from.
Vidar still standing will raise the warden staff, and he'll say, I believe Lady Ruthiel's suggestion is a good one, and I, the ward warden, Dwarf Vidar, Dwarf of Erebor, Liberator of Greydelve, agree with her.
Vidar, you almost have as many titles as I do now.
I kind of just made some of those up, so...
That's what you do. It's nice that way. The whole goal is just to impress them.
Give me a persuasion check.
I might burn... let's see. I'd make it a disadvantage because I'm miserable. Should I burn my inspiration? Because I feel like I made a good argument.
Do it.
But then if I roll a natural 1, that's it. I have to live with it.
Then we get to see what happens. Do you like to live dangerously?
I do. 16.
Hey.
Okay. It will be taken under consideration. I would much rather hear what the other leaders of the North have to say on the matter, as this directly affects you.
I was hoping my ward warden staff could pull some sway amongst the dwarves, however begrudgingly it may be.
There's a bit of a lull. And Bard, speaks up. You say the felling of trees has disrupted, creatures, animal life, the very nature, beneath the canopy. Were we speaking of the stags, rabbits, birds, the grimhawks, wolves, perhaps? I speak to those as yes, though there are much greater dangers than those. Many a spider has begun moving south. They've retreated inward from the from the tree line. While they normally dwell deep within the wood, they've begun migrating. Heading south, over the elven path towards the mountains of Mirkwood. From there, I do not know where they go. And on the topic of wolves, there are those that are much more terrifying than that. What? Wargs? The other elf speaks. Worse. Very well. Well, while I agree with my dwarven friend, King Dane, that these trees fall well within eminent domain of Dale and Erebor. So we rightfully see them as ours, though I understand your plight. Perhaps we could either work with, like you said, these envoys, or we either go through the elven merchants that reside here in Lake Town. Buy our lumber directly from them. Armand sort of perks up. Well, that does sound like a good trade deal. I agree with you there. So it appears our stance here is either to continue doing what we're doing and ignore our elven compatriots. We send out with envoys and only fell the marked trees that we are allowed. Or we buy directly from them and we cease all felling of trees on our own, or at least the ones under Mirkwood. Is there any further discussion or debate someone wishes to add to this?
Vidar raises his hand again.
I love it.
It's like
That's
a kid
the
in
wolf.
class. You're just like, please stop.
Now, I've been working on the Dwarven Highway for the past 3 years. Beasts moving south. I should have seen this.
Are you asking me as a DM?
As a DM, yeah. I can't check my notes right this very minute because I don't think I copy and pasted them over to my OneNote.
I don't want to say I gave you something and not gave it, so give me 1 second.
If I pull up the DM, it'll get rid of our cameras.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Even if the answer is no, I still have something to reply with.
Guys, look at this big dragon boy.
Absolute unit.
I know. This is what we're painting for the mini finger painting event on the 14th, and I'm so excited. Gosh.
Absolute chonker.
Yeah, but Minnie sure does like to give us minis that we're gonna get stabbed by, you know? Just holding him by the tail hurts my hand.
So, while you personally haven't seen any mass migrations or anything like that, and to Ruthiel's narrative so far, she says they've moved on towards the mountains of Mirkwood, which is still north of the road. So they could be stopping there, or they might keep going, and you haven't seen anything.
That's fine.
You have heard deep howls in the distance, though.
Yeah.
You haven't seen anything.
Having been working on the Dwarven Highway these past 3 years, I can corroborate Ruthiel's claim that animals are moving southward. Strange howls fill the air, and a giant spider the size of houses roams the forest. It is a dangerous place to be felling wood, and so great care must be taken. I offer no solutions, just that corroboration of events.
Well, thank you. It's appreciated.
And Vidar will sit again.
Well, As Bard stands, it would seem that there is no further discussion to be had. And to paint a picture here, this is a debate that, much like yesterday, has gone back and forth over a few hours. And if anybody out there is greatly disappointed that this did not happen in real time, I did not prepare a several hours worth of monologue between characters. So you will forgive me. But so it
One
goes
day
back-
there will be a session where it's just Brian talking to himself the whole time.
Sure. I do my best to avoid
That's
those.
that's called an audiobook, and I'd totally listen.
Yeah.
So basically, the back and forth over this time is that the elves have raised the issue of not necessarily just felling the trees, but essentially of trespassing in the eastern parts of the Woodland Realm. Dale and Erebor, for the most part, argue that there's no other trees within miles, thanks to smog. The whole region was just burnt to ash, and any forests or woods that may have been there once upon a time were burned to the ground. The question on the table is of compromise. Either elven envoys mark and help the foresters fell the trees that the elves have approved to be felled. The other is to go through actual elven merchants and buy direct. And there's a cat abstaining. After much debate, Bard calls for the vote. On the solution of the elven escorts, Bard and the Master of Laketown vote against it.
The compromise?
One of the compromises, yes. There was two.
Right.
Dane abstains,
Ooh.
so he remains neutral. Armand also abstains as he views the other option to be more appealing.
Mm-hmm.
So they move on to voting on buying lumber from Laketown, where the elven merchants reside. The Master of Laketown votes yes, and the elven emissaries, Ruthiel and the other individual, they cast one single vote, but because they vote as proxy for the king, they vote for it. So that's two yeses. Dane again abstains. And Armand votes yes, and Bard abstains. So, Bard, well, it would appear, due to vote of the council here, that we will progress further with buying our lumber directly through Laketown and the elven emissaries within the districts here. We greatly apologize for any inconveniences that we may have caused beneath the wood.
That sounds like a 21st century public apology.
Thank you, King Bard. Perhaps this solution will calm Mirkwood. And we will, as she looks towards her compatriot, and perhaps the routes along will be a bit safer. Thank you. So two of them return to their seats. Very well. Well, I would like at this point to open the floor to anybody who may have issues or concerns they would like to bring before the council. You may speak.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I'm observing, really.
So my thing kind of got solved, so it's like not much more I can contribute.
Tapas is just a small fry in a big pond.
A couple of individuals stand, and they have sort of wild hair, wearing cloths and furs. Not armed, not from what you can tell. They seem to be common folk. They seem dirty for the most part. They're not really clean shaven or clean in general. But they stand in one sort of, "My good king, we come from the far side of Mirkwood, in the vales of Anduin and the Misty Mountains. We come not to present an issue that needing votes as you do here, but more of a word of warning. One that may require attention, for orcs breed under Mount Gundabad once again."
Gross.
"Large forces dwell within the mountains. And if these Viglandites, as we spoke of the day before, are not a pressing issue, then these orcs may very well become one. Travelers who either traverse through the mountains or even across the vales succumb to orc raids and ambushes. The roads aren't remaining safe as they once were." There's some muttering back and forth amongst the council as this group sort of builds off of one another and continues to discuss and bring up the orc armies breeding under Gundabad. They also tell of warg packs prowling the vales. And then as across the hall, essentially a different person stands and chimes in saying that people from the east, strangers coming from the east. We've had Easterlings here before, yes, but not in numbers like these, and they're no friendly folk. Our trade, our very way of life could be at stake here as our borders seem to be closing in. Seems to be some concern, both from the west with Gundabad and the east with Easterlings, Harad, Run, far distant lands that many people have never even seen on a map, let alone met somebody from. And there's talks that there's not necessarily a migration, but there's an influx of people coming from across the lands. And while there is this attention to it, there is discussion on the platform between Bard Dane, the master of Laketown, and Ruthiel to some extent. Armand sort of stays out of it. These are really beyond his expertise and concerns, or at least so he claims. But nothing discussed up there is actually audible. They're all hushed whispers among themselves as they discuss back and forth, and they make facial expressions every now and again as new claims come up. After a while, the crowd sort of settles down. King Bard looks over the crowd. He has that stoic look on himself that he tends to have, but he seems to be individually analyzing most people that he can make direct eye contact with. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. There's great concern beyond our borders. And there's many talk of evil rumors beyond our humble holdings.
The Vales of Anduin. Have we been there before?
Yes,
Right?
that's
I
where
don't remember.
That's where the Bjornings are.
Oh, duh. Jeez.
Mm.
Alright, never mind.
I'll bring up a map.
And
I'll do
I
it.
always
I'm
get
gonna do it.
confused
Nope,
by
I'm gonna
the
do it.
map.
Nope.
Where's the map?
I'm the map. I'm the map.
These are the Vales are essentially over here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I couldn't remember.
Yep, these are the Vales. Way out here is Rune somewhere,
Yeah. I remember it
Okay.
from my Lord of the Rings Risk map.
and then Harad is way down here in the southeast,
Yeah.
beyond Mordor.
Yeah, I was gonna say you need the world map for that one.
Okay.
Mount Gundabad.
Whoa.
Rune, there's Rune, and the Sea of Rune,
You know, it's rumored
And then-
Rune is where the Antwives fled to.
and Harad is way down here.
Okay. Oh my.
So there is, and Gundabad is way up here, near the mountains of Angmar and the Grey Mountains.
Okay.
So the strangers, for lack of a better term, are saying that there's orcs, like orc armies. Their words
Yeah.
are orc armies in Mount Gundabad. There are large warg packs roaming the Vales,
Yeah.
and then others are saying that strangers from the east are beginning to cross the rivers and come towards Dale and Erebor and Lake Town. And a couple of people like in this sort of pseudo debate. There's really nothing here anyone's debating. They're merely just saying, hey, bad shit's happening places.
Yeah.
It could come here. We don't know, but hey,
Mhm.
warning. There's a couple of people who appear more than regular common folk. And this is purely based on how they're dressed. But they seem to be a little bit more well informed. They ask like, where's Gandalf? Where's Radagast? Why aren't they here?
I'm sure
Those are
Nayla
good
is wondering the
questions.
same thing. Yeah.
And Bard continues. He just sort of holds up his hand and steadies everyone and takes a moment. We are a free people of Dale, of Erebor, of Lake Town. We cannot rely on the acts of wizards to keep us safe, to keep us removed from these evil rumors, these shadowy thoughts that seem to cross into our realm. While I do not know where the wizards are, that is hardly our concern here. Only a few years ago, we were plagued by a dragon. There was a wizard there. I understand that. But even if the wizard wasn't, we as a people came together and stood against that greed, that evil, and we pushed it away from our home. I understand your concerns. I'm concerned as well. And I will not stand up here and try to convince you that the orcs will not come. Convince you that the wargs are not dangerous. And while those from the east may be strangers to us, I suggest we at least attempt to welcome them on friendly terms. We shall not cast them aside, purely because we do not know them. But for the orcs and the wargs, it is good you bring this to our attention. And while we were not willing to send an army to aid Bjorn against Vigland, we still will not raise an army to march against Gundabad. If we could not raise an army to fight a clan, there's no way we are fighting an entire mountain of orcs. Though, this helps us prepare. And I thank you all for it. Your concerns are heard. And we will make our decisions wisely with these considerations. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure, you know, just the four of us could just roll into Gundabad and just kill them all.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Southwest could probably walk in and diminish half of the orcs.
Vidar,
You're more than welcome to try.
You said the same thing about Bloodstump, and we nearly went down from him.
But we didn't.
It was close. There were a lot of close times.
I mean, I survived a troll.
Hey, did you guys hear me talking about that giant spider who I don't know the name of?
We could always investigate about it, but I don't know about the four of us just going. Besides, there's still the priority. Yeah, we still have the priority of watching the big guest of our party. But I am curious myself about that.
So, the council holds no vote on this issue, as there's nothing to really vote on. They all individually show concern regarding these claims and these rumors.
What do these people look like? Who are they?
Who?
The group that was bringing up all of these concerns.
Well, it's random individuals from the crowd.
Oh.
There was one group in the beginning. It was about 3 people. That's really what kicked it off, and then it was just scattered all throughout.
Okay, I misunderstood.
Like raising,
then.
like saying the first one stood up saying like we come from the west. There's orcs, there's
Gotcha.
wargs. There's bad shit going on over there. Just
Okay.
thought you should know. Other person stood up. Oh, Easterlings are coming, by the way. They could be here already.
Okay.
Etc. Etc. Etc.
Okay.
The populace. There's pockets of the populace who show concern abroad and some domestic like security concerns regarding like, hey, Easterlings could be here. They could be among us. What are they doing?
Mm-hmm.
Sort of thing.
Okay, I misunderstood. My bad.
Blah.
Blah.
So yeah, they hold no vote.
Okay.
They hear out everyone's concerns and plights regarding this topic. They do seem concerned regarding them, but they only offer words of reassurance at this time. Well, if there are no further issues to bring up at this time, then I would say that today's council is adjourned. The rest of the week will proceed with private internal affairs. Specifically, all the envoys from the Woodmen would very much like to have attend tomorrow. There's matters to be
Okey-dokies.
discussed. Any other foreign envoys that feel the need that they should be a part of those private discussions, you can find us tomorrow in the morning, where we will properly admit you if we deem it wise. So thank you all for attending today. Your concerns were heard, and things are being done. Thank you. As everyone sort of begins to meander on out.
I'm going to just... Okay. No, that's a terrible idea. I'm gonna try and catch Ruthiel. I was gonna say I just jump off the banister to catch Ruthiel, but I'm like, no, that's a terrible idea. That's gonna scare people.
I was
Okay.
actually going to approach at least the missing arm elf, if not the two of them. So I'll go with Vidar.
Okay.
I guess I'll join
As
the two
Vidar
of
is
them.
making his way down, before Ruthiel even leaves the room, he's just gonna try to yell as loudly as possible, Ruthiel! Ruthiel! We
Oh,
need
no.
to catch up!
Oh
We
no.
need to talk!
I can hear your footsteps a mile away, Vidar.
Good, it'll be easy to find me then! I'm gonna stomp away and try to find her.
She hangs back at the, sort of like the platform as everyone sort of scatters about. The other lords of the council make their way out, but the rest of you make your way fighting through the current, swimming upstream to get to
On my way! Excuse me! Pardon me!
sort of the front. And you make you can easy enough get to Ruthiel and the other.
Ah, Ruthiel! Can I hug you, Ruthiel? Wouldn't ask before I do it, but I want to hug you.
Sure. Yes.
I give her a big bear hug.
I don't think he would have taken no otherwise.
I know. I think I've known him a little bit longer than you.
It's been too long since we've actually
It's not
just
saying much, but
talked. How's
But
Mason?
yes.
Have you seen him at all?
Oh, yes.
Here and there, yes, he's been around.
I haven't seen him in 3 years.
He stopped by roughly about 3 years ago and stuck around for a while. And then he headed south. Said he had some business to attend to, and he's been gone for a while.
Wait. South? I just heard this morning about... But those were woodmen. I heard this morning about woodmen, treasure hunters going south and turning up missing, never returning.
But that was over the span of a number of years ago.
I mean, it's been over the span of the past 3 years.
Yes.
But, like, if Mathan went the same direction, I don't know. It just... Maybe it's a coincidence, maybe
Well-
not.
I don't seem too much of a treasure hunter, but I suppose you could be right.
He didn't head south into the forest. He went to Sunstead.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
What he did once he got there, I'm not entirely sure, but
Maybe we'll swing by sometime just to check up on him. It's been a while.
if you find him, let me know.
Will do. Do you have a
Jimmy's
message
face.
you want me to send? You have a message you want me to deliver?
I don't.
How are the
He might.
how's
He might,
being
though.
captain of
She
the Elven...
gestures towards the other elf.
Yeah, who's your friend? Do I recognize them?
What do you have to say, big man? Speak up.
You do not recognize him, other than the fact that you saw him like for the past 2 days.
Yeah.
You don't know who he is.
Come on, thickness. Say it again.
Who's your friend, Ruthiel? I don't believe we've ever been introduced.
Ah, yes. This is Knight Orifon.
Knight
What?
Orville.
Yes.
Orful?
It is a pleasure to meet you.
And to you as well.
So, how long have you been working with Ruthiel? How long have you two been working together?
I don't approve.
Well, I am a
I'm-
knight of Thrant of the King. She is a god.
Yeah.
She is currently captain of
Yeah.
the guard, yes. Couple centuries?
Oh well, your name never didn't come up when we went to hunt Negral.
Yeah, get him, Vidar.
I don't know why it would, but like, century seems like a really long time, but maybe not for elves. You know, I'm coming off like
Okay.
a little bit of an asshole right now, and I'm sorry about that. It's a pleasure to
Um,
meet
No,
you.
nope. Keep going, please.
I have to ask, I'm curious, your discussion about the felling of the timber in Mirkwood and the talk of a lot of the wildlife being affected. I just was hoping to go into a little more detail into that part as I was curious. Have you personally, each of you personally, come across any issues or situations with the wolves or the wargs or spiders based on what you've briefly discussed?
Well, in my patrols, my guard and I have come across several run-of-the-mill spiders, a little bit more frequent than normal, coming from the north down to the south, crossing the path. There's been a few that have wandered close by to the Elven King's Hall. It's alarming to say the least, nothing we can't handle. It's more or less where they're going, what they're doing. Orliful, however, investigated on behalf of the king. What? I'll let you tell it. Yes. I was dispatched by King Thranduil to investigate one of our burrows that was being disturbed. And there's talk of packs of wolves, things of such. But it turned out to be something a little bit more than that. A bit of a greater adversary than that, and I tracked it south into the mountains of Mirkwood, tracked it into its lair, slain it, and returned home. It was a much more harrowing creature than any spider. The things are stirring beneath Mirkwood are...
What? Wait, was it a spider?
It was not, no.
Oh, okay.
Something more.
Something more.
What do you know of, because about 3 years ago, we, Nayla, Mason and I believe, came across a giant spider at one of the old road forts. It was the size of the fort itself. Do you know of such a beast in Mirkwood? We didn't slay it. I was able to scare it away, and it fled deeper into the forest.
We know of several, in fact.
Oh! That's comforting. Several building-sized spiders.
Oh, yes, I mean, if you're looking for something to keep you up at night. It's
Well.
good reading.
They just better hope they don't come across me again, because they won't get off as lucky the second time.
Can you describe him?
And then I'll describe what Taller looked like. I don't know the name is Taller, but I mean, it's been 3 years.
Where did you come across him?
On the old forest road, I believe, the old dwarven forts. I was protecting one of them, specifically the fort that held this, and I gestured to the warden staff.
Well, from your description, as the two of them sort of look at each other and look back to you, it sounds like you came across Taller as a hunter.
Taller, the hunter.
He's Taller Taller the hunter, or Savage Taller, depending on what mood you're in.
Have your forces ever come into contact with Taller?
From afar, we've seen him, though at this life cycle of the wood, we dare not tread too deep into the forest.
Fair point.
But if you think you came across him, you should know that there are two others.
Oh!
In the same area?
All of Mirkwood is our hunting grounds these days.
That's a fair point.
Fuck that.
There is Taller the hunter. There is Twalkin the weaver. And Sarquin, the mother of all.
Oh. That sounds very pleasant. They all do.
If you think those three are bad, there's a much worse one. But Ruthie interjects. But that fourth one is far from here. Not really one to concern ourselves with.
Ah, good. 3 giant spiders is more than enough to contend with. If they pose a
Yes.
if they pose a trouble for the path, I will have to hunt them down.
If they cause trouble for the path, you're gonna have bigger issues than 3 spiders.
Speaking of the
But-
path, what do
Go
you
ahead,
two
Vidar.
what do you two make of Mogdred and his offer?
Well,
I believe you
No,
were
very-
there at the folk mood, weren't you, Theo?
I was there for a time, yes. He did make a grand entrance, if I
Yes.
recall. But beyond that, he has kept pretty quiet.
He has.
No
And,
news has reached the no news has reached the halls regarding him.
I guess I guess I'm asking for clarity so I don't let my personal grudge get in the way of what's good for the region.
Well, unfortunately, I can't offer you any counsel on this matter. I have no experience in it.
Fair. But thought I'd ask anyway, since you're a friend and all that.
I don't. No news has reached us. Don't have much other than the first encounter of him, and the fact that I found the 3 of you that one day in southern Mirkwood coming back from Tyrant's Hill, I believe.
I believe that was our first visit.
Yes. So yes, from what you've told me from that day, he's not a pleasant individual. He's definitely not hospitable. But since then, nothing.
Well, I'll be working with him closer than ever, so
I've heard. I wish you the best.
I will-
Hopefully, it
thank you.
just speeds things along.
well, it was nice catching up. Perhaps we should get a drink sometime. But I know you must be busy, being an official representative of the king here and captain of his guard. Sure, as soon as all this wraps up, you're gonna have to get back to the hall.
More than likely, our vigil never tires.
But so for now, the wildlife within Mirkwood being affected by the felling and everything, it's, for lack of better terms, being handled. You aren't incredibly concerned or don't happen to need any assistance of the sort or have any warnings to take heed of?
I just advise caution. Be vigilant when you travel.
Very well.
Even the strongest of us may succumb to
Maybe I'll
a
name
bad
my
attack.
hammer Vigilance.
And that barrow, you said it was in South Mirkwood.
No, it is
Oh.
one of ours. It's near the King's Hall.
Oh, I see. I misunderstood. Sorry. Does that? Where are my notes? Hear them. So
just
that's not.
I just advise remaining vigilant as these creatures move around, whether they're being disturbed from the felling of the trees or something else. The forest is dangerous. Even the elven path isn't a guaranteed safety anymore.
Do you think there's a possibility of seeing what you saw in the barrow?
Well, even though I slain the beast, it's unfortunately still out there.
Can you describe it?
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh.
$29.
Wow.
The creature was a large bipedal creature that was ferocious, hungered and howled. Large glowing yellow eyes, fangs as sharp as daggers. The Werewolf of Merckwood has returned.
Oh.
This isn't
I
Negral we speak of then.
It is not. Negral was no werewolf. He was
Yeah.
merely a warg chieftain.
This is a legitimate werewolf.
According to Orifon, that is what he saw and that is what he slain. And I have it on good authority that the head was mounted. It was seen. I severed its head,
Oh.
and I made it a trophy. I celebrated among my kin beneath the stars one night. And as I spun the tale of what had happened with our lanterns dancing in the night, those very yellow eyes stared back at me in the darkness.
From the severed head?
No,
From the forest.
from the forest. The very beast itself that lunged out and attacked before I could raise my sword. It cost me my arm.
Oh. I'm sorry. I did not mean to have brought up anything painful for you.
It was alright. Luckily, Mathan was there.
Kevin.
Mathan, that's what he's been doing these past 3 years.
Unfortunately, no, that is not what he's been doing. From the stories I've heard both from Orifol and Mathan independently, Mathan sort of stumbled over that.
No, that perfectly sounds like Mathan.
To my knowledge, Mathan is not currently hunting the werewolf. He helped investigate, yes, though he did not find it. Where he is now, if he's not in Sunstead, I do not know. But
So
we haven't
then-
heard its call in some time.
But we are to assume it remains throughout Mirkwood.
While working on the Dwarven Road, the Dwarven Highway, we've heard some strange wolf calls in the night coming from the mountains.
Do you know how far away?
We never explored. You know, we had bigger. Going to the mountains to slay potentially monstrous wolves was not on our agenda.
I don't think it ever is on anyone's. But while we haven't seen it or let alone heard from it since that night, it's still out there.
Well then, I guess we'll
We'll
have to
keep
try
an
and
eye
kill
out.
it again. Is there a way to make it stick? Or is this another werewolf?
That knowledge escapes me. King Thranduil may know. Mathan did bring some clues back to Thranduil. Though he did not think it best, it was time to send Mathan on that path. if you're interested in learning more, click here. No.
Hit the subscribe button.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
If you're interested in investigating or helping, I suggest you start with Thranduil. I've given you all I've known. Even I have not been privy to all the information, just of what I've heard and what I've seen. And as she looks back at Ortaful, his missing arm, and what it can do.
Well, thank you for the information. Yeah, we'll
Yes.
definitely add it to our potential leads to follow.
Just know that if you delve too deep into Mirkwood, you might come across worse things than wolves.
Oh yes, like the spiders.
Many of them.
Sounds joyous. More joyous adventures, Vidar.
Didn't always used to be called Mirkwood.
What was it called before?
Greenwood.
I guess that makes sense.
It was very green.
I mean, still kind
Now
of
it's
is
murky.
green, just a little grim too.
Well,
A little bit, yes.
I don't think we'll keep you any longer. But it was nice to see you again, Ruthiel. It's been a few years.
And you as well. Vidar.
Ruthiel.
They do their shallow bow and turn and head out.
Ooh.
It was nice meeting up with Ruthiel again.
Yes, I was hoping to do that with her and with Armand actually before things ended. It's been a while with both of them.
Well, good luck finding Armand. I think I'm gonna head back to the inn.
Very well. I'm going to. What time of day is it?
Early evening.
Is like the merchant district still open and bustling?
Probably.
Okay. It doesn't have to be narrated since I did a lot this session, but I wanted to try to
I would rob you of your narration. It's nothing.
I
You lose.
Thea was going to, out of curiosity, go back to find the one vendor that softly spoke about the auction of exotic goods to see if she could get more
Exotic butters.
information of when and where specifically.
Okay.
So
you make your way back. And you look around. The merchants are still out. They're still peddling their wares, as it's roughly around dinner time. So people are moving to like either home, going to back to the inns, depending on who they are, what they're doing. So they're still trying to get the last sale of the day. And you find like a tea and spice vendor that you noted before. Yeah, what can I do for you?
Yes, I was wondering if out of your collection or inventory, if you happen to have anything of exotic taste.
Well, we've got some spice coming in from Harad, up through Gondor recently. What sort of exotic are you looking for?
Anything that's not typically common to find, if you understand what I am saying. I'm looking for something to be a very precious gift for someone back at home.
Well, most of these spices from Harad you're not going to find around in this vicinity. Very rare around here. I do have some stuff from a far town called the Shire.
Oh.
Mostly spices, tea leaves. If you're looking for something else, what budget are you working with?
Oh, whatever needs to be done. There's no limitation.
Money's no object.
Not when you are a diplomat and part of the Night King's Guard and this and this and that and that.
Give me a persuasion check.
What'd I get? 22!
Nice.
Well, if you're looking for something beyond just the spices and the teas, we do have another shop over in Dale that might interest you. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out what looks to be like a small coin of sorts, and he places it on the table and slides it over to you.
Okay.
Take that. There's going to be an auction later in the week. Actually, next week. There's going to be an auction next week. Of exotic goods and trinkets and other sorts.
Oh.
Ask around. I can't really say where it's at, but it's in Dale. If you go over to the old quarter, you might have a better chance of finding things.
Oh, the old quarter.
Old quarter. Old quarter.
From Random Road. The old quarter.
Old quarter, yeah?
Yeah? You get me?
Is there an echo?
Oh, I see. Very well. I can ask around then when I visit Dale next.
Do you take the coin he slid over?
I will take the coin.
Okay. Do you look at it?
Yeah. Of course I'll
I don't
look
know
at
what
it.
you're doing. You're just like, bloop, bloop. Thank you.
Nope, she'll took it as she takes it. She'll do like a quick glance just to see if there's anything notable on it, and then she'll put it away into like a small pouch or something very close to her.
It looks to be like a crudely melted down silver piece, so it's not like perfectly minted or round or anything like that. And on one side are two etchings that look to be like long, like canine teeth or something to that effect. And then on the other side appears to be an etching of an eye with like a slit for a pupil.
Oh. So two long canine teeth and the eye is in the middle of that?
No, there's two.
Oh.
There's two
Oh, two
teeth,
sides.
and then on the other side
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the
yeah.
eye.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, well. Thank you very much for the information. I very much appreciate it. If it is not too trouble then, and for your gracious information, I would like to buy the tea leaves and/or spice that you spoke about from Harad and the Shire.
That will run you about 5 gold.
I can do that. I hand them 5 gold and I do the buying.
All right. Here you go.
Thank you very much.
You get assorted spices from Harad
Okay.
and a pouch of pipeweed from the Shire.
Oh. Pipeweed from the Shire. Okay. And then with that, I'll give like a little bow and another thanks and appreciation, and I'll make my way back to everyone else at the inn.
All right. So you all make your way back to the inn. Is there anything else anyone wishes to accomplish this day?
Not tonight.
Nope.
Vidar's big day is the next day.
All right. So, What?
I was going to quietly tell everybody what I discovered about the auction, that's all. Very discreetly. That's it.
Okay.
There's an auction.
Shh! Vidar, shush!
I mean,
But yeah.
I got some money burning a hole in my pocket.
So you all retire for the evening. You take your meals and your ales. Discuss the goings-ons of the day and the rest of the week. And this is where we're going to end tonight.
Oh my.
As that concludes day 2 of the council, the rest of the week being private matters. And you're just scooting on closer to your B&E heist.
I'm nervous. I don't think it's a good idea, guys.
Vidar doesn't think it's a good idea, and he kind of only brought it up. That's not a good idea.
Yeah, the two of them agreed.
But then everyone convinced him to wait till his meeting with Mogdred, and then
That's true.
talk about how that went.
I'm trying to keep track of all of the notes I wrote.
So, we will find out what happens next week as Vidar has his little meet and greet with Mogdred to establish terms and all that fun business speak. And we get to hear what is privately troubling the council and who all might have something to say about it.
Oh boy.
We'll cover that next week as we continue the Council of the North. And then tomorrow night you will have a mini paint and chat with Lindsay.
Hi.
Finishing up my ears. Why? Finishing up the female champion and then progressing on to something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's got the entirety of Wave 15 to get.
Yeah, I
through,
don't know.
So she can paint anything.
I'm probably literally gonna pull a mini out of the box and just open it and start painting.
Yeah, you have a ton.
Yeah.
That's not even including the Legion stuff I still have.
I've got more Legion
I've
stuff
got
now.
Legion stuff I gotta still finish.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm
excited to see your progress with them.
I don't think I'll be able to get back to work on Legion stuff till the puppy's a bit older.
No.
Because she will try to eat that. She will not hesitate.
Yeah. More.
Well. So, swing on by for that tomorrow. And like we said after our break today, Tabletop Appreciation Weekend, August 21st, with Extra Life, we will be doing our 24-hour live stream for charity. So swing on by for that. We will have more of a definitive schedule in Discord and Twitter as we get closer to that and we finalize things. So show up, help us support children's hospitals, and help us make a difference. So thank you all for joining us tonight. We will all see you later. Have a good night.
Bye.